All right, it is Tuesday night in Tooney Town, and that can only mean one thing. It is time for the fastest rising pro wrestling live stream podcast on the internet today. It is time for Tooney Talk Wrestling. Folks, my name is Marvin, and I am the Movie Monster, and I am pleased to be back here with you guys for another week of nonstop wrestling conversation. So, guys, this week we have a lot to discuss. Chris Jericho might be going back to the WWE. Trinity might be never wrestling again after, if she decides she wants to go be a mom or a whole bunch of stuff going on there. We've seen Tony Khan's house, and we're going to go through it in a segment we like to call Lifestyles of the Rich and Clueless, and so much more. We even have a Mone mag this week. So there's a lot to get done, but I cannot do it alone, guys. I need the greatest team ever assembled. I need the Tooney Talk Wrestling roster. Kevin Apollo, my friend. Oh, I'm glad to be back.
Welcome back, brother.
It was nice. I did get to see you while I was up there. That was really fun. I really enjoyed that. It was just, I didn't relax at all. But
you mean cranking out 1,000 stories a day? Relax?
Yeah, no, I was still working full time while I was there.
Where were you publishing those stories?
Thatparkplace.com.
Oh, there you go.
Little news site that I happen to frequent, but yeah, no, we'll get into it. But let's round out the team here. This.
Hi.
Oh, welcome back, buddy.
I am welcome back. I didn't go anywhere. Welcome back, Mar.
Whatever. I'm tired.
Hey, and for the record, I was not late. Everyone always accuses me of being late. I'm never late. I'm always here on time.
Well, no, Awful was late, but apparently last week Awful was on time and his microphone sounded amazing. So I'm like, am I the one doing this? Is this my fault somehow?
Yes. Always.
Apparently. But guys, this show is made for you and funded by you. We counting your generous super chats to keep the lights on around here, and we take breaks between each story to read your generous super chats. We do break for super chats of $50 or more, and it looks like we have got one right off the bat, gentlemen. Regina Sharp checking in for $50. Saying the problem with getting flan when you're expecting custard pie is you're getting Rita Hayworth when you're expecting Ava Gardner. You're satisfied, but you were really looking forward to Ava. Glom gold, glom gold, glom gold, glom gold. Fantastic. Regina Sharp, your wit is razor sharp as always. Missed you while I was gone. So we've got a ton of super chats here to get to at the beginning. So we're going to get one out of the way first. Let me just find it real quick. Did it not? Hold on. Let me scroll up. For some reason it just didn't save it. That's weird. Is it not saving the super chats? Good Lord, StreamYard. All right. Don't worry, guys. I got it now. I think I got it. Yeah, now it's doing it, but it was not for a little bit. All right, so I want to get this one out of the way first. So Ryan Damon says, $10, shout out to Travis Heckle. Don't agree with his stances at all, but respect him walking away from a job that asked him to do something he wasn't, I assume, comfortable with doing. All right, so we are going to discuss this very, very quickly, and then we're going to move on from it because Travis is our friend, and his desire for this was to not like dwell on it, to just kind of like leave the show and go his own way and do his own thing. And that didn't happen, obviously. And we're not going to sit here and try to monetize it. So Travis is our friend. It's his story to tell. If he decides he wants to tell the story, he is more than welcome to tell the story. We love him. We support him. He's our brother here on this show. And
we'll give him a platform.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He absolutely. If he wants to talk about it, he can come on here and talk about it. I don't care. But we are not going to sit here and talk about it. It also has a lot to do with politics, and that is a thing that we don't discuss on this show. So now that this has been said, This is the only super chat we are taking about this. If you super chat about this, guys, somebody else already did. I said it in the comments, guys. All right, so for the interest of now Blazing Bolts did the same thing. Thoughts on the situation? If you guys don't want to talk about it, I understand that. Yes, we are taking no more super chats about this after this. So if you super chat about this from this point on, we're not reading it. You wasted money. So there you go. It's our friend. He didn't want it to be talked about, all over the place. So we're not going to talk about it without him.
I hope he's having a wonderful vacation. Right? Yeah, I hope he's having a wonderful vacation right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's away. He's away with his family, and he was getting bombarded with all this crap. So, and he has a wonderful family. I've met them. They're just tremendous people. So, all right, let's get a move on here. Not Zack Ryder for $20, who I have a sinking suspicion might actually be Zack Ryder. He's being a little bit too upfront about not being Zack Ryder. So, sup, Tooney Town wrestling community. Welcome back, Marv. Hope your vacation was awesome. Is that what I did? Was it a vacation? Because what I did was drive 17 hours each way, work the entire time I was there, and get annoyed by my family talking politics nonstop. Does Jericho see the writing on the wall for AEW? Also, we need Kevin to read that epic Scott Steiner tweet from yesterday. Was there an epic Scott Steiner tweet yesterday?
You didn't see it?
I didn't see it.
Oh, he wrote about the Steiner bloodline's genetic superiority.
Oh, jeez.
Coming out the womb to dominate.
If you want to pull it up and do a dramatic reenactment of it.
All right.
We'll talk about Jericho. We're gonna get to Jericho. I would say it's more Jericho sees the writing on the wall for Jericho. And
no, I don't think, and I know we're putting the cart before the horse here. We're gonna actually have a discussion on it, but I'm just gonna say I don't think Jericho wants to go, and I don't think they want him, or at least not in the way he would want them to want him. I think this is, guys, I might go to WWE. So Tony will be like, please don't go. I need so much money.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll get
we
there.
We will in fact get there, guys. It will be a thing that we do. You and Cubia for $4.99 says Glomgold is better than Jericho. I agree. I'm much more entertained, at the very least. But Liger J81 for $5 says, hey, Jobber Monsters, since HLH is on break, you gave me an idea to make extra money. Puppets, buy them now so we can get Sean some new hair plugs. Are they selling that demon puppet?
Yes, $100, dude, and it's selling like crazy. It's selling. That's why I said everyone was on there. Everyone was complaining about it so hard, and I'm just like, Finn's finna be rich, dude. Is not
here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. I don't mind things like that when it's on AAA, because that's what Lucha Libre is. It's comic booky and so the second it crosses the portal into WWE, I hate it.
See, I thought it might last night because if it had last night, I would have given it a pass because Mr. Iguana was in the match. So it was, kind of
Mr. Iguana. Love him in AAA. The second he shows up on Raw, I hate his guts.
Yeah, well, they're also building for Worlds Collide, so I kind of get it since they're building for Worlds Collide. It's a WWE versus a AAA pay-per-view, so they have to do something to build for that. Right. But they didn't use it. They did. I was surprised they didn't use the puppet. They could have, and they didn't. So I respect that.
Yep. Let's see. You and Kumia for $1.99. Power of the 199 says, "Is Jimmy the real father?" Let's discuss. Look. I have no doubt in my mind that Jimmy Uso is the father of this baby. That guy can't even pull out of a parking spot, let alone. Never mind. But I've been waiting all day to drop that line.
Hey, good for them. There's a lot of talking about how I can't believe they did it now after she got her title, but apparently she didn't realize she could even have a baby. So this is like a miracle baby. So
that makes me even happy. That makes me happier for them that it's a miracle baby. I mean, sucks about her finally achieving the peak of her career, but right. It's the worst timing ever on their part, but it's, we'll discuss it. Wing Moonlight for $5 says, I love you guys. Thank you for all you do. You mean the absolute world to me. Hey, you mean the world to us too, Wing Moonlight. We love you, buddy. Hope you're doing all right. All B booty bitches and bacon and big. for $2 says Jericho was always overrated to me, so I won't go that far. I loved Jericho back in the day. Like I was a huge Jerichoholic. And then I read his second autobiography, and I called Kevin and I said, I think Jericho might be a dick, because the book is written by just the biggest crybaby bitch on the planet. I mean, the book is just nonstop bitching and moaning and whining about his Chris Benoit matches being deleted. It's my matches. Like, people died. Like, come on, man. Like, and it was just nonstop bitching and moaning. And I was just like, he. And then I remembered he posted that one, his last ever blog on ChrisJericho.com, which I used to read religiously, was him. Some people didn't like his match with Rob Van Dam, and he went on an absolute fit at them.
Oh, yes, he drinks too much, allegedly. By his own admission. Drunk will not be allowed near internet connection and social media.
Mm-hmm.
Or Drunkacho if you're Trisha.
Yes. Virginia Sharp for 5 says Marvin's late because he's moving the clips back after everyone moved them. From what I can see, nobody moved any clips.
I don't know how. I would have. I don't know how though.
You just draw. I'm not. Never mind. I'm not going to tell you.
I tried to, and it just highlighted everything, and I'm like, screw it. I'm not going to do this.
Blazing Bolts for $5 says, "What's up, Marv? Hope you're doing well. What did you think of Dis's impression of you last week?" I thought it was me. I honestly did. What am I doing there?
Well, my first one, I was just going like, rah, 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 rah. And for some reason, they thought I was actually trying to do an impression of you. So that doesn't speak too highly of you, although they did say it was a bad impression, but still. But then at the end, I think I got it. I think I got the get out of here. I got that pretty down. I got that down pretty well, I think.
Well, so my favorite part was when I super chatted in to be like, you guys are just AEW haters. And Kevin didn't look at the screen to see that it was me and thought that it was actually like somebody like trolling. And just like went off, and I texted him, and I'm just like, "You big idiot, it's me." Andre Adams for $10 says, "I feel like Brian Alvarez turns into a bipedal rat during the full moon." Oh my goodness,
he does seem to have a cycle, doesn't he? It's weird because like he'll go a few weeks where you're like, okay, you know what? He doesn't, and then he says the dumbest thing you've ever heard in your life.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Blazing Bolts for $2 says Marv checked into the SmackDown hotel. Oh my God, no, but I did check into a motel that you have to hear this story, guys. So on the way up, we stopped in Virginia, and I booked a motel that said Garden Inn, so I thought it was a Hilton. It was very much not a Hilton. It was about $80 for the night. So we check in and we get in there, and like the paint's peeling, and it was not a question of not a question of how many prostitutes, not a question of whether a prostitute had died in the room. It was more like how many and at one time.
By the way, it was $80 for the night. That should have been your first.
Yeah, but to me, I'm like, oh, sweet deal for a Hilton. Like, so, you know, we put our stuff down, and I'm like, I'm sitting on the bed and I'm typing up an article for that Park Place because, of course, I am. And all of a sudden, I see movement out of the corner of my eye, and I go over to the counter and I move my bag, and 10 roaches like spread out and ran for cover. And I was like, I turned to my wife who was brushing her teeth, and I said, "Get your stuff. We are leaving." we went to the there was some nice place like right across the street, and so we went there, and it was like $150 for the night, and I practically threw my credit card at the guy. I was just like, I don't care what it costs.
Doors on the outside, Marv?
The first place was doors on the outside. Yes. Yeah.
If there's doors on the outside and it's not like Disney, if it's a Disney place and they have doors on the outside, that's like fun, right? And if it's a fishing place, right? Like if you're by a lake or something like that, they're allowed to do that. But anywhere else is a cracked in, pretty much. I learned that a long time.
This was 100% a crack den.
Nice. You get prizes if you go into the bathroom sometimes. So needles, pipes.
Oh, fun. Brandon Tyson 7879 for $10 says, why is Jay a part of this fatal four-way instead of Roman when all they're doing is Roman and Bronson? Didn't expect Roman in Paris. Who is pushed for next women's champ and when does it happen? Okay, so I asked the same question about Jay being in the fatal four-way because I'm like, well, why isn't it just a triple threat? Because the story feels like it's just like Punk and LA Knight and Seth. So like Jay being included in it just felt kind of weird to me. It was like, well, we got nothing else for him to do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeet party in Paris.
Wait,
that's the thing.
Well, Jay's the biggest baby face in the company. That's why.
And
so why wouldn't you do Roman and Jay versus Bronson and Braun?
They did that at SummerSlam.
The SummerSlam.
Do it again.
Yeah. No,
do it again with the gimmick.
It's more important for Roman because listen, the end game here, it's going to be Roman versus Seth, right? They have to wrap up this storyline at some point in time. The Roman's the video game character who came back in the sequel and lost all of his power-ups from the previous game. So now he has to go through all the mini bosses to go fight the boss again.
This is level 2. And there's the other part is also, they did a triple threat at WrestleMania between Seth, Roman, and CM Punk. So if they just added LA Knight, that's not going to be compared favorably to the WrestleMania match. But if they do a 3-way, that's also so having a 4-way with Jay, it makes the comparisons not happen. And they get their Yeet party and.
Well, you keep Jay in the main event because technically he got knocked out of it, but we're not supposed to notice that. We need to get used to LA Knight being in the main event because the guy's been feuding with 2 different factions for a year and a half and hasn't come anywhere near close to a title. And you got to give that rub to Bronson. You got to remember, too, Roman hasn't had a singles match in almost 2.5 years.
Right.
2 years. So this is something super special for Bronson. And he's, the fact that he keeps beating him up and stealing from him, Roman was going to have to do this match eventually. Just prison your own rules.
And he's got to show that he's not just doing championship matches. Like this shows that he'll come back for things that aren't just a championship match, right? Because
you don't want him to be Brock Lesnar at that point where all he ever did was come back to either defend or challenge for the world title.
Right, exactly.
All right. As far as who's pushed next for women's champion and when does it happen? Well, I mean, obviously it's going to happen very soon because, Trinity had to give it up.
She should have had to.
Honestly, they're going to go right. I think they're going to go right back into. I think they're going to go into a Rhea, EO, and Roxanne Perez. Situation.
I mean, Roxanne Perez would be great, but I think they might give it to Raquel.
I would actually love that. Like, I remember I was like really pulling for her to beat Rhea.
She's been so good recently.
Yeah,
and she's over. She needs the title could actually elevate her. With EO or Rhea, it doesn't do anything for either of them. I mean, there's Stephanie Becaire. Sloppy Joe in the chat said Stephanie Becaire. The problem with Stephanie, though, is that she won a battle royal against mid-carders to get there, and that's really all she's done since she's been on the main roster. Like, the idea that she would go straight from that to the world title, I think is actually would hurt her more than anything at this point. So I would say put Stephanie down back into the intercontinental scene for a while. Let her build herself up.
Yeah, let her do a run with Becky when she's done. Giving the shine to the almost Mrs. Cena.
Yeah, and then you got but I think Raquel she's on fire right now.
I hope so, man. Yeah. I really do because that would make me happy. All right, so Regina Sharp saying, do you think Jericho's booking would improve if he had people actually telling him that's stupid? Unlike AEW, with wins made up and the booking don't matter. First of all, great Whose Line Is It Anyway reference, but also, yes, Jericho needs to be booked. He needs to not book himself because Jericho is not creative in any way, shape, or form. He thinks he is. He thinks he's creative, and his ideas are all terrible, but Tony will do all of them because he's Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I wouldn't say all of his ideas are terrible. I think Jericho's an idea guy, but I think he needs somebody telling him the 9 that are bad to get to the 1 that's good. Yeah, right.
The last good idea he had was Money in the Bank.
The list was great, dude.
Great. Jericho's a guy who has when you have a lot of ideas, you need someone around to tell you which ideas work and which ideas don't, and how to shop the good idea into a great idea. None of these guys a lot of these idea guys, they are in a place where the guy who's there and in charge doesn't know a decent idea from a good idea, doesn't know a good idea from a great idea, doesn't know and can't tell them apart from terrible ideas. So they're just running around like just children, and the babysitter's asleep on the couch.
It becomes not the best idea, but the idea you have when they need one.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't Jericho's best idea that made it to be. It was whatever idea made it, or whatever idea he had when they needed a new idea. But we're at Jericho.
It's not a super chat, but I do want to bring it up because it irked me a little bit. Is what's up with Bailey? Look, I get what they're doing with it. That heel Bailey is, I guess, like Angelus living in her head. But why can we hear it?
Because it's
like,
silly.
I hate that. I remember when Hogan saw the Ultimate Warrior in the mirror, and we saw it too, but Bischoff couldn't see it.
Well, that's the worst one. At least, yeah. Remember when Cowboy Bob's face was bleeding profusely, and only Randy Orton could see it?
Yeah,
complete with it twitching.
Oh, I like the idea that she is struggling, because it wasn't just the ding dong Bailey, it was also the hugger Bailey that was talking to her, and so I like the idea that she's struggling between the two. I didn't catch
the hugger Bailey talking to her. I only heard the ding dong Bailey talking to her.
Because at the very end, you heard hugger Bailey come in and ask, "Do you need a hug?" or something like that. Like when Bailey was really upset, she tried to comfort her or something. But I get what they're doing, and I think the story is interesting. They are very on the nose with it, though, right? Mm-hmm. But
that's your job. You have to be on the nose,
right?
I think it would be great if you found that someone was using a voice simulator.
Oh my gosh!
And then Bailey's being tortured by someone in the roster. That's why we can hear it.
See, I think
I would love that.
The thing that really ruined the Hogan thing with Warrior, because I would have even accepted that, except Eric Bischoff was standing right next to him,
right,
going, "What are you looking at? Like, come on."
There's nothing there.
If Bischoff freaked out because Warrior was also in the mirror, it would have put it over. He would have gone Warrior magic.
Yeah. The idea that Bailey is sitting in a room wrestling with her demons and we're allowed to get in on that. I mean, is that really all that much different than how it used to be, where we could see magically the stuff happen backstage, even though there weren't cameras there? I mean, it all just kind of is wrestling, you know.
We had a zombie, a giant, and a giant who plays with fire. It's, you know.
You remember when TNA, when Jeff Hardy used to narrate backstage, he would just be walking to the backstage area. And you'd hear Jeff Hardy's thoughts over the television. Oh, that's fun, man.
Jumping off stuff. What's that powder over there? Should I lick it or should I sniff it? You know, I'm gonna jump on it. What?
Marky D does the best bit about that. Whenever he just shows Jeff Hardy walking backstage, he's like, "Man, Sandman used my swanton finisher."
A wild slapnuts appears.
Double J, Jeff Jarrett.
I love Marky D. The worst thing he ever did though was go on camera.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you're not a man. You're a hawk. You're a bird with Hulk Hogan's head.
He had to show off those guns, man. He's ripped. He had to show it off.
He's pretty ripped. But so let's get into the Jericho stuff. So obviously we see here Chris Jericho's deal in AEW ends in December 2025, and he's reportedly open to a WWE return depending on the situation. Now this comes from the Wrestling
Go back. You missed the best part about the last one.
What?
Look at the very bottom.
Liked by Chris Jericho Fozzy.
Yep. Chris Jericho liked it. So
I'm telling you, man, he's trying to play what he thinks is three-dimensional chess with Tony, and what actually is three-dimensional chess with Tony. Like Tripp would be like, go ahead, make my day, call my bluff.
If anything,
Tony would be like, please don't leave.
if anything's going to get him a contract with WWE, though, it's stuff like this. Because Triple H, if he saw this, just like,
Yeah, but it is his most hated person in the world. So,
well, this is a different Triple H though.
He signed CM Punk. Dude.
Yeah, this is
what if he signs him and he comes in and he's like, all right, first order of business, kid. Your name's Excalibur now.
It's come full circle, Cal.
It's my call now, Cal. For those of you that don't, there was a rumor when Jericho first came in to the WWE that Triple H had this idea to call him Excalibur.
Oh, it was Russo.
Oh, Russo's idea.
Yes.
To call him Excalibur and put him in DX. And so we've always said that Jericho thought it was dumb. We've always said that that Triple H calls Jericho Cal still to this day.
As the story goes, Jericho hated it, as did Triple H, which then also made Triple H hate Jericho because he's like, why are we putting a WCW guy in DX?
Besides X-Pac.
The creator of the original pipe bomb, by the way.
So this comes from the Wrestling Observer, which I believe this, Dave Meltzer, because it comes from Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho has a pipeline to him.
Yes.
So it's like Jericho is actually a really big story. His contract is up at the end of the year or late in the year, and there's certainly been lots of talk about WWE. I know from a WWE standpoint, there's lots of talk there about Jericho. People speculating Royal Rumble. No one has officially said anything, nor will anyone officially say anything. That's a big story to watch at the end of the year. But yeah, there's been a lot of talk I've heard in the last week from many different people about the situation with Jericho and the belief that he's inevitably going to be in WWE. No, I will believe it when I see it. They don't need him. In no way do they need melted ice cream Chris Jericho. If he would just come in to be a producer and get a Hall of Fame induction and, work with the young guys and do stuff like that, then maybe. But like, he's not going to want to do that. He's going to want to do what he did with Vince, where he would come in and call his shot and barnacle off whatever is the hot guy of the month. And Tripp's not going to let him do that, I don't think. And other than a big Royal Rumble pop, I don't see the long-term use.
I think he knows he can't do that in the WWE. That would have never been allowed anyway.
He did it with Vince.
He got his 1-2 little quick storylines, and then they were like, "Okay, we're wrapped up. We'll see you. We'll see you again when it's time for another nostalgia pop." He can't. He's not going to walk in the door and be like, "Hey, this is what we're doing." This is a Hall of Fame a Rumble pop, Hall of Fame induction. Maybe put over someone who needs to be put over. Go host a bunch of shows on A&E. And
after all the shit that he has talked. Yes. For the last 5-6 years, I don't ever want to go in their Hall of Fame. We're going to be beating Raw. Like, no, why? Why would you want him there?
But they all do it.
It's wrestling shit. We talked about it a little bit less. We talked about it a little bit last week, Marv, where it's like there's a difference between Chris Jericho wrestling shit and Tony Khan calling them the Harvey Weinstein of wrestling. Yeah. Like I think when you work for a competitor, a place like WWE understands that you're going to say some of this stuff like that, right? I mean, they brought
that is your job. You're paid to say stuff like that,
right? They would make him say stuff like that if they were in the situation AEW was in. That's just what you do.
Well, and with Tony, you say stuff like that to get on TV,
right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Now the question of if they need him, I mean, you know what? 2 weeks ago, I would have said absolutely not. But there's some ambassador work that Chris Jericho could do, and WWE is kind of lacking in that department. I mean, Randy Orton, you're looking at guys that are coming up to the end of their career, the guys that you would normally keep around to do kind of what like the Undertaker's doing now or that. And you have the Undertaker, which is great, but he's not going to be around forever. After that, you have Randy Orton, which I don't think Randy Orton can handle that role. You have The Miz, who absolutely could. So you at least have him. But outside of The Miz, what do you got? You got AJ Styles. AJ Styles is going to be going out being a brand ambassador for you. He's much more well utilized in the PC or something like that. Go ahead.
I would say you're also forgetting the AAA piece too, though.
Yeah, that's true. And TNA,
yeah,
for that matter.
You really think that he's going to go to TNA and do stuff in TNA?
I'm not forever, but if they ask him,
and then what good does that do? He didn't help AEW. How would he help TNA?
He helped them get a TV deal, and TNA is working on a TV deal and wanting more exposure.
Okay, that is true. Which, by the way, if TNA gets Wednesday nights, then that'll be my new favorite thing. Especially if it's on CW.
I don't think it's impossible, because I think your average network is going to look more at Thursday Night Football than they are Dynamite when it comes to that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's much more likely they'll be like, well, we don't want you on Thursdays because of football. So what's on Wednesdays? Oh, they get how much? Okay, you're fine. Yeah, go do that. I think it could be, it's possible, but I don't know.
If TNA, let's say TNA gets on CW and they start beating AEW in the ratings, that makes TNA the second biggest company.
100%.
They have, it's, and Bischoff said it was going to happen within the year that they were going to overtake AEW. So we'll see.
I would say they have, though. I mean,
their viewership isn't more than AEW's at this point, right?
No, well, no one has the channel anyway, but
right.
In terms of attendance and momentum,
definitely.
Yeah.
Attendance, yeah, not AEW
big shows, I guess.
AEW still does well on the big shows. So,
TNA can go to Chicago and still draw people.
Jericho also just posted this great pic that I've never seen before from classic WWF tour of Japan, Singapore, and Malaysia in March of 2002. I worked with The Rock for the world title the whole tour, and we tore the house down every night. Then we drove our mentor, Pat Patterson, crazy by Pat Patterson, not Pat Patterson. I don't know who Pat Patterson is, but he must have been some force behind the scenes. Yeah, crazy by doing 20 minutes of improv comedy for the fans after the matches. Thanks to Dean Malenko for sending this to me. So, I still think this is a ploy to get more money out of Tony. And also, didn't Jericho sign like a 10-year contract with TNA or with AEW?
Apparently not. We thought I think it was an extension deal where it's like he could re-sign, at a higher deal or something. But this tells me right here that first off, Marv, I agree with you to an extent. I think that it is both. I think that if he's going to go back to AEW, he's going to need a bigger contract. He's going to need more from Tony. This helps him with that. If he doesn't get that, though, I think he's absolutely willing to go to WWE. And I think this shows him that his target isn't Triple H. His target is The Rock, because they were already buddies. So the idea that if anybody's going to get that man work in WWE, it's probably going to be The Rock.
Just to spite Triple H,
right?
We used to joke that The Rock no longer knows who McFoley is.
Oh, get this whole away from The Rock.
Remember when he did the John Cena "This Is Your Life" segment, and it was ridiculously bad, and then The Rock came out. And Mick Foley ran to hug him, and he just rock bottomed him and then left. And as he's going up the ramp, he looks at the camera and he goes, "Fat piece of shit." we were like, he had no idea who that was. The Rock senses bad segment going on. The Rock must intervene.
Rockbot activated.
But yeah, I mean, I agree with Kev. I don't think Chris Jericho is coming back as a full-time wrestler. I don't think Jericho wants to be a full-time wrestler at this point. I mean, look how much time he takes off for Fozzy. I bet that if he would be happy with probably having more time off. Whereas in AEW, he does carry a bit of the show, and he carries weight. He doesn't have to carry any weight in WWE. And a lot of people are like, well, he can come back and put guys over. Yeah. I mean, kind of.
When does he ever do that?
Yeah, and not only that, but does that even really work anymore? The idea of the veteran on his last, run, putting young guy going out on his back type stuff like that. The people that beat him usually get resented more than they get over because they beat the veteran. Him coming back having a little thing with Punk, doing a Royal Rumble appearance every once in a while, going to the Hall of Fame, not saying, you know, I'm retired, but just being around. I could see it, dude. I don't love it. But at the same time, I don't know what Jericho looks like under solid leadership with good booking and you know, somebody controlling him. Last time that happened was when his WWE run, and that was pretty good. The list stuff was good, and really the Painmaker stuff in New Japan was good. It wasn't until AEW got their grubby little mitts on him that he became this Jericho that we know today, where he's allowed to do whatever.
Let's not you know, give Jericho too much of an out here. When Jericho went to AEW, he became Chris Jericho, the actual Chris Jericho, because for the first time he wasn't working for anyone.
Well, true. He became Chris Huntico, triple Huntico.
Yeah,
I was gonna say became
Jericho Hogan.
Chris Irvine or whatever his real name is. Like, that's who we're seeing right now. I don't like that guy, but if you want to bring Y2J back, hey, you know what? We'll check it out.
Nothing would make me happier though than if he has to call himself Y2J again.
just well, he already did the Lion Maker stuff. No, wait. Lionheart, sorry.
Yeah,
he did the Lionheart stuff last year.
Was it Painbreaker or whatever it was?
Yeah, Painmaker and Lionheart. And Jericho, I'm pretty sure, has more nicknames than anyone who's ever been in wrestling before.
Well, because Chris Jericho would come up with a new catchphrase every week in AEW, and they would be like, he's reinvented himself again. I'm like, what? He's doing the same shit, except he says now he calls himself a wizard.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see Jericho going back. I could also see this being him trying to get. Now, here's the bigger question: do you think Tony Khan's going to fall for it?
Yes, I think Tony Khan will be like, I'll give you so much money.
Go ahead, Kev.
Oh no, I actually didn't say anything. I was just thinking. I'm like, you know, I think some of this has to do with the fact that Jericho is legacy conscious. And he's also very similar to Triple H, very aware of what people are saying on the internet. I think Jericho knows the milk has gone bad, to quote Dave Chappelle quoting Rick James. And he's like, let me get out of here before my name is attached to this thing going belly up. Although we still got a few years before that happens, but still, you know.
It's what he did with WCW. He did that exact same thing with WCW, and it's why he never went to TNA. So, you know, it's possible. Dave talking about this. I thought about pulling Dave's clip about it, but it's not. There's nothing. All it was him going, "Oh, WWE very serious about getting Chris Jericho." Right? WWE, they're all talking. Everyone's talking about Chris Jericho. It's like, dude, come on, man. I don't think.
No, Jericho told him to say that so that Tony will offer him more money.
Right, exactly. But yeah, on the other hand, though, if you're Tony, what does Chris Jericho do for you at this point?
Nothing. He hasn't done anything worthwhile. I don't even remember the last time he was even involved in. What was the last big thing that he did? ROH champion.
Yeah, the Ocho stuff, I guess, would have been the last time it was really a big deal.
Yeah. Well, but I would look at it from this perspective too, though. What does being in AEW do for anybody outside of Tony? Because these guys go on TV and look at it like this. Last week, Edge and Christian reunited. Not only was the crowd dead for it, they didn't give him much of anything, especially given how much animosity has been between the two of them since Edge got there. It didn't do anything in the ratings either. So, but if that had happened in WWE, it would have been a massive ratings grabber. It would have been wrestling history. So if your legacy is comprised of all of the moments that you generate, again, this is the ROH problem. Oh, ROH is so great. Hey, listen. If a tree falls in wood and there's no one there to see it or hear it, does it make a sound? There's no one there to watch it. There's no one there to talk about it. Was the moment really that great? When you're at that level, you don't want to be in front of crowds. It's about the energy and the reciprocation. So, it was great for the payday. It was, I'm gonna go make a quick meal. I'm in my 50s. I'm still working at a very high level at my age. And I'm trying to teach these guys. Whether they're gonna hang and figure it out is up to them. But he's kind of done everything he can do there, to the point that it blew up in his face. And yeah, he did earn a lot of that. But at the same time, he also did get a couple of guys over in the process.
Yeah, I would say he got Kevin Owens to the point that he is now, kind of.
I would agree. I would agree with that. The Mad Mage, by the way, says he fell for it for Daniel fucking Garcia. He'll fall for it for Jericho. But if he did go back, sure, he'd probably get to work with Dominic, and he'd get to work with Drew, and he'd get to work with all the guys that are hot right now. But how long until there'd be another Fandango situation and he would throw a fit?
But that's different, man. He's in his 50s. He knows his time is kind of winding down. There's a difference between being like, hey, I still got gas in the tank and a lot more to give, and Vince going, nope. You turned older than 38. It's time to wrap it up. Mm-hmm. I think about like this, right? When Hogan wrestled The Rock, how old was he?
Hold on, I knew this.
48? 48? He was.
I didn't even think he was that old.
Okay, well, he was 71 when he died.
He was 48.
48. Nailed it.
So that means that when Vince told Hogan it was time to wind it down, Hogan was 34.
He's a year older than AJ Styles. But when he wrestled The Rock, he was a year older than AJ Styles is right now. By the way,
and yes, there's the quality of athlete is radically different now, right? But like, think about that though. In Vince's eyes, even though the average person winning the championship didn't really happen until you were 34, 36, he was telling you it's time to start winding it down the second you hit 34. Mm-hmm. So Jericho's gone, I'm only like 42 at that point. What do you mean?
The one thing also Dave said that I think is crazy is he said the fans will go crazy though, because anytime somebody jumps from AEW to WWE, the fans eat it up. Yeah, okay.
You can always go home again in the WWE.
Well, and they eat it up because they're like, "Oh, we haven't seen this guy in forever."
Right? It's not like it has nothing to do with AEW. It's just that he hasn't been in WWE.
Oh, CM Punk came back to wrestling.
That's it. No one even knows what AEW is. That's why I keep going like this counter programming nonsense. The WWE, WWE counter programming AEW is like saying the WWE is counter programming the Elchlogs Indie show in your town this weekend.
They're counter programming us with NXT right now.
Exactly. They don't give a shit.
No, I love that. It's like everyone says like, oh well, they must see him as competition. No, you don't counter program against your competition. That's something you don't do. The fact that they are scheduling pay-per-views on the same night means they don't care at all. They don't see them as a threat. They might want to crush them. They might have decided it's time to kill the bug. Like when a fly is buzzing around your head and eventually you feel like you're going to swat it. It might be that, but it's not because they're worried that they're competition or anything.
Right, exactly. And listen, and we know that the two men who have run this company over the years are two of the most petty human beings on the planet, but it gets worse. They're patient. So, Vince would sit there and just absorb the punishment, and then he threw Eric Bischoff in the garbage can. Triple H, you don't think Triple H has it bookmarked, you bald asshole. You don't think that Triple H was like, oh, you called my wife's father, Harvey Weinstein, on TV. That's cool. Like every ounce of red in that ledger has been accounted for. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Now that they know the company's on the balls of their ass, cool. Let's go drive the stake through the heart and call it a day.
It wasn't even that he called Vince Harvey Weinstein. He said WWE was the Harvey Weinstein of wrestling. I remember it like it was yesterday. We're Coca-Cola in WWE, or we're like Pepsi in WWE is like Harvey Weinstein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, AEW is the Coca-Cola of pro wrestling, WWE, the Harvey Weinstein of pro wrestling. And then all the ESPN commentators were suddenly like, oh, goodbye, Tony.
Yep. Well, exactly. So it's like you're talking about fine. It's owned by a group now, but that's still the legacy of his children and his nieces and nephews, or just nephews. I don't know. Just of his daughters and nephews. So yeah, that's retribution as a mother when you finally go get it.
Yep.
Some wrestling journalists seem to think that those AEW swipes were imaginary though, and are fake because they haven't happened as of late.
That's what. Look, I have no problem with what WWE is doing because AEW called it down. If Tony had just been like, "Hey, man, they do their thing, we do our thing. There's room for everybody," like the wrestling world is better with more places. They'd be working with them right now instead of TNA, or they'd be working with them along with TNA and AAA. Like everybody would be working together at this point. But he said what he said. He did what he did. He made it a hostage. He threatened to sue them repeatedly because he said they were contract tampering. So yeah, they have no desire to do business with this man.
Yeah, they're contract tampering. Jeff Hardy walks out of a house show and walks in the Dynamite somehow.
Yep. No, they just put together a contract in 12 hours.
Edge had a vignette filmed, and his contract had expired the night before. So,
yeah. Well, so Jericho might want to leave AEW, and AEW might have to let him, but there's somebody who wants to leave AEW that AEW has no intention of ever using. That good guy Tony is holding on to like grim death.
I'm so glad we're talking about this.
Oh my God. So according to Fightful, AEW has extended Danhausen's contract because of injury time. His deal was said to expire in July, but the company has added time to keep him with AEW until well into 2026. It is believed that Danhausen asked AEW to not extend the deal as he was reportedly ready to leave, probably because he's not on TV ever. And I'm not saying that he should be. He never should have been signed in the first place.
Into 2026.
That is ridiculous. Like WWE is not signing him.
Yes, they are. 100%.
No.
Yes, they are. 100%.
Yes. No.
Dude, over SummerSlam weekend, he filmed a blog with CM Punk.
Yeah, he's friends with CM Punk. That doesn't
and he'll get him a job. Danhausen will.
What's his face at AEW? What being friends with Cody got him when he tried to leave AEW.
Do you know what? Here. The Danhausen who gets signed by the NXT is the one in the video game picture.
Oh, I didn't say he was getting signed by NXT. I think he's good for AAA.
AAA.
AAA, fine.
Yeah.
You want to send him if he go to AAA, fine.
Yeah, I think he'd be great in AAA, and I think that's why they want him. I think they'd sign him for AAA, sign him dirt cheap, put him down there. They sell a ton of T-shirts. They get to do what you should do with Danhausen on regular TV, which is bring him in once every 6 months to remind people to buy a T-shirt because he sells merch. People like him. He has a following. He can make money. So you can sign him dirt cheap, put him in AAA, let him do his thing, and bring him on every once in a while, make him a meme. He'd do great.
Yep.
But not until 2026, apparently.
But guys, this is more of Tony Khan doing that thing that Tony Khan never does.
Mm-hmm. Nice guy Tony.
Good guy Tony. The Saint Anthony, the patron saint of pro wrestling, has no desire or inkling to use this guy at all, and is going to hold on to him and pay him into 2026 for no reason.
Because he doesn't like him, or because it's just because he wants to leave. That's the crazy thing, is that WWE can make money with T-shirts, but it's not like Danhausen is going to set the world on fire when he goes to WWE. Like Ricky Starks, you understand to an extent, right? Ray Phoenix, you understand to an extent. Penta, you understand to an extent. But Danhausen, you're going to do this on Danhausen? Like that dude, what's he going to do in WWE? At most, he'd be a meme wrestler manager guy.
There was, I can't tell what killed me more. The day that Sting did the little kicks with Orange Cassidy, or the day that William Regal sold the Danhausen curse. But both of those moments, I have never been like more sad outside of when like a human being that I love has died. Like watching these two men that I like adore doing these stupid things with these stupid people.
Was he even hurt?
Yeah.
He has been used, right? Oh, he did get hurt?
When he first was off TV, he got injured for something. And then there was a weird thing where it leaked out that he was selling bootleg AEW merchandise on at his store or out of a trunk or something like that. And it basically came out that it was like nobody knew where that story came from, and it seemed completely unfounded. But he never appeared on TV after that. So that's, it sounded more like a situation where he was given permission verbally, but not written, and they were angry at him for something else. It's all because he's friends with CM Punk. That's all.
Well, that's the other angle. It's, are they continuing to punish the friends of CM Punk?
Yes.
Yeah.
Always. That's why FTR had to become so pro AEW after Punk left, because if they hadn't, they'd be in the same wheelhouse or same place as Danhausen and those guys.
Right. Well, there you have it, guys. Danhausen staying in AEW apparently against his will. I'm sure the AEW fans are going to write letters to the heads of skinny white guy governments everywhere to say that there is a man who's being imprisoned and his name is Danhausen, right?
What can Canada do for Danhausen?
All this is gonna do for all this is gonna do for Danhausen is make people actually want him to go to WWE. If they had just released him quietly and he didn't end up in WWE, no one would care. But now everyone knows that at sometime in 2026 he's gonna be free, and people on the internet are gonna do what people on the internet do, and they're gonna scream about it and make everyone know it and just make Tony look worse. It makes no sense why they do this.
I am going to be livid if he shows up in WWE because of this show, I can't stop watching wrestling. Like, I have to continue to pay attention to the things that are going on. And so, because normally I would just be like, I'm not even going to pay attention to what's going on in wrestling anymore. Wrestling is dead. I need to take a 6-month break from wrestling. But I can't do that anymore. So
I've said for a while, I can't. I mean, obviously they'll use him for a couple matches if they bring him in. I can't imagine them using him as a regular wrestler, though. I think there is value in Danhausen somewhere in the world, right? It's a fun gimmick. It's a thing.
Yeah, not in wrestling.
Yeah, I've always thought that like him hosting a horror movie block on Tubi would be hilarious.
Yeah, make him the new Crypt Keeper.
He'll be Spenguli.
Yeah,
exactly, something like that. But I mean, like I said, now that they have AAA, there is a place for Danhausen. He can work down there, and
he's friends with Topanga.
Yeah, there you go. I'm sure he's a great guy. He seems like a great guy. I will say that.
I just have no desire to see him on wrestling.
He can bring. I wouldn't mind him as a manager. If they could do him as a manager, I'd be okay with a manager who can bump and do a 6-man.
It's like look, you know how I always loved that superhuman guy, that like dude that just would jump on stuff in his backyard and be like, "Ooh, my ass,"
Well, that guy. Is it?
Yeah. So he just did a spot at he just did a spot at GCW over the weekend, and now I can't stand the sight of him.
I thought. That guy's not returning.
Well, I mean, yeah, he is, but
okay.
Wasn't gonna say it.
It's back.
I loved watching him hurt himself for the Juggalos and the Juggalettes, but he popped. Then I just saw he popped up on GCW and splashed some guy, and I was like, nope.
But tactically, the GCW storyline is GCW versus JCW, so they are going after all the Juggalo-related people.
He is doing it for the Juggalos still.
Yeah, he hasn't schooled out.
No, you bring a special need. You bring a special needs guy on who hurts himself in his backyard. Like,
did you see that video from JCW a few weeks ago with that fire in the ring with Mikey Knuckles and
this may surprise you, Dis, but I typically do not consume Juggalo championship
Oh,
wrestling.
it was all
content.
over the internet. I can't believe Madman Pondo is still wrestling. Of all people, Madman Pondo he's got to be 95 years old. How old is that guy?
Speaking of that, is the La Parka that was on Triple Mania the same La Parka? Like it's a different La Parka now, right?
Yeah, there's been like 12 La Parkas. Like,
yeah, I was like, this is not the guy that
no.
That was DDP. That was DDP anyway. So
yeah, no, this is La Parka went to CMLL and was LA Park for a while, and then AAA was like, well, I mean, we're a lucha company, so we're gonna make a new La Parka because that's what lucha companies do, and they made a new La Parka, and I think this is actually the new La Parka if I remember correctly.
Well, I enjoyed seeing him. By the way, so I did watch. I skimmed Triple Mania. I can't handle JBL on commentary for too long, let alone JBL in a situation where it is very obvious that he knows nothing about what's happening around him.
JBL is terrific.
He was.
I said to myself, the second he starts talking about 80s wrestling and making comparisons to this, I'm done. And then it was like, I tell you, Michael, even though Michael Cole's not there, this is just like King Kong Bundy. And I was like, nope.
Oh, come on. When Omos was doing Microman, yeah, that was just like King Kong Bundy.
Okay, the Microman stuff, again, if it happened in WWE, I'd be like, I hate this. But in AAA, I was like,
a giant beating up a midget is always fantastic television.
You know, by the way, you know JBL when Microman came out there wanted nothing more than to get in that ring.
Oh, let me kick let me just let them come on. Just
Awful had
and I'll kick it.
Awful had the best meme with doing Omos with Microman like Lion King.
Oh, I had no problem with Omos doing what he did, but I'm talking about when he was Hurricane Ranaing people.
Yes.
Like,
you're right. Yeah.
That's the thing. We're in AAA. I'm like, that's funny, but the second it crosses into American Pro Wrestling, I'm like, no.
Did you see the video of Triple H during the Exotico thing?
Is that the guy that looks like a cross, like the guy that looks like the Fabulous Moolah?
He's an Exotico. It's like drag wrestlers basically.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Triple H.
Yeah, I pulled that clip. Hold on. Let me. Because.
By the way, how great was he? Dominic Mysterio is like Nelson Mandela.
Play with Conan's inane commentary. Like, so here, let's take a look at Triple H's face here. So we got this. What the hell?
Tom made him stand up.
Oh, God.
I'm done.
Paul, look. I don't want to see the creepy Ronald McDonald. I'm just looking at my feet. Leave me alone.
Don't make eye contact with Fabulous Moolah.
Not making eye contact. No eye contact.
Triple H was just thinking, can we make her work out? Can we get her?
I'm only here because I thought Triple Mania was a show honoring me.
How fast can we get her steroided up, guys? Let's work on her.
By the way, the next episode of the Headlock Headlines is being written. I have started to write. The ESPN deal gave me that spark that I needed.
That's right. Marv has a deal with ESPN. Headlock Headlines will be appearing on ESPN Plus next year.
Yeah. It was who's the guy who's giving me a whole lot of money? MICKEYMOUSE. Oh gosh. All right, so let's get to some super chats. Blazing Bolts for $2 says, how much for a Marv puppet? It would be a lot more than $100. With the time that it takes to make one, I would sell probably 2. Ryan Damon for $5 says, Dobby voice, label the Glomgo clip better for Mistress Trish. Could she not find it? It's like the first clip.
I couldn't find it either at first, and then I found it.
It's like the first clip.
Yeah, but you have all the other DuckTales clips lumped together, so your eyes go to that immediately.
Well, yeah, because that's the one that we have to use the most.
Right. I realized that later.
On Thursday.
I have a system.
Glom gold, glom gold, glom gold, glom gold.
It's right next. Brandon Tyson for $5 says, why are they trying to put the AAA title on Dom instead of anyone else? Because they are going to be defending it on the main shows, ruining Vikingo. I mean, if they were going to put it on Dom, I would say it's because Dom is a globally recognized wrestler that would do a ton for AAA to put that belt on Dom.
Do you have the clip of Dom showing up at AAA from a couple weeks ago?
No, I can't.
We can't play that, but the pop was monstrous.
Yeah, because 20,000 people exploded a roof off of a building. That's why they'll put the title on Dom. Okay. He can be the king of the luchadors and the greatest Mysterio, and Vikingo will get babyface sympathy in the face.
Yeah, they're booing Vikingo in Mexico because they hate the fact that he took the title off Del Rio and they love Del Rio. Dom should have been the one to beat Del Rio. That's how this all should have been done. But WWE got all weird about getting backlash because it wasn't going to be a Mexican wrestler, and they bought into this stuff where Mexican wrestlers only want to see other Mexican wrestlers hold the title. So they went ahead and kept it on Vikingo, and now he's getting all the backlash when they could have just had all that backlash on one of their guys who aren't going to be there tomorrow, and Vikingo be the hero that brings the title back home. That's the way they should have done it.
Vikingo's getting backlash?
Oh, he's getting booed like crazy.
He gets booed because he beat Del Rio, and Del Rio's gone. Del Rio is Hogan levels over. So
Del Rio,
it was.
Ray said he's gonna bring him back.
Like, we don't care that he beat up that pale lady.
They beat each other up.
Yeah. Ray said he's bringing him back too. He's gonna try. So you usually don't promise a Mexican crowd something unless you can deliver it, because they will, destroy the ring and everything around it.
Like I said, Del Rio's been complimentary to Triple H for a couple of years now. So even before Vince left, he's softened his tone on them.
And to be fair, the only charges that Del Rio ever had against him were dropped. So he's never been arrested. I mean, he's been arrested, but he's never actually been found guilty of anything. Everything else is just hearsay. I mean, what are you going to do? Like, if you're not going to hire anyone because they got arrested, you're not going to have a lot of wrestlers. It's just, you kind of got to draw the line somewhere. And I think the line should be if they were guilty, personally. But
I mean, Dominic, despite the fact that he's an American, he's still a AAA legacy, wrestler with being raised up he's a third generation. Because Mysterio, we remember, was the junior for his uncle. So Dominic's a third generation, legendary family of Lucha Libre.
None of that matters because El Grande Americano was just as over as
So, El Grande Americano is awesome. That's why.
Dude, he sang his theme song when he came out. It was
the one that wrestled on Triple Mania. That was Kaiser, right?
That was Kaiser, yeah.
Okay.
There's 3 right now. Trace Grandes.
Not Tooney Khan for $4.99 says Triple H looks so miserable being on his vacation with no female China. Okay. Juan Araya Garcia for $2.99 says, God damn it, Jimmy, are you that desperate?
It's mean.
Look, my only hope for the Trinity Jimmy Uso situation is that when the baby is born, she will come back and he will stay home.
Well, I love Jimmy. Paul, by the way, the only reason they had a baby was because Paul Heyman said, I wrote a 20-year storyline, and if we're going to finish this, you got to hurry up quick and get one out, because that's the only way it's going to work.
I need an Afro Samoan, and you're going to make one now.
I said I was in the bottom of the first, and I meant it.
I think Naomi was like, oh my God, I'm the women's champion. I just had an amazing match. Things are just going so great. What should we do to celebrate, Jimmy? Want to have unprotected sex?
like I said, she didn't think she could. I will say that last week people were asking us about it, and I did not respond to it. I just don't like speculating about pregnancy before it's public. It can lead to bad things, you know.
Like
so.
Charlotte.
Yeah, well, it can lead to assumptions. Like if she wasn't pregnant and she just stubbed her toe and then she ended up back there next week, or the internet, because they always think they're right, would just be like, "Oh, we know what happened," and it's like, "Yep, be cooler," you know.
Let's see. Brandon Tyson for 6879 for $5 says, if I was Tony Khan and I knew MJF was in MLW at times, I would bring Alex Hammerstone and Richard Holiday and reform Dynasty and have MJF win the title at some point.
I mean, Tony knows MJF was at MLW. He stole him from MLW.
One thing you could say about Tony is he knows everything there is to know about wrestling.
Yeah. And I'm starting to get the feeling that Alex Hammerstone maybe doesn't take this as seriously as people wish he would, because that dude, there's no, after a stint with TNA and everything, you'd think he'd be somewhere by now with that look, and he just can't get there. So if Parker Bordeaux could get 2 jobs in wrestling, you'd think Alex Hammerstone could get a job, but
Regina Sharp for 5 says Psycho Hugger Bailey. That would be amazing if like all of the different Baileys like come together to create the Mega Bailey.
Yes.
It's a psycho that hugs you to death. Alex Swelms for $5 says Riff Tracks Live had Time Cop in theaters last week, and I have expected to see Tony Khan in the crowd the whole time. Well, Tony wouldn't want anyone making fun of Time Cop.
How dare you make fun of the greatest movie that was ever made?
Man, I've actually just been watching some Riff Tracks, so shout out Alec. Good job. I like that.
Not Tooney Khan for $5 says, no, Chris, don't leave me. Grabs a bottle of bleach. I'll drink this. I swear to God, I'll do it. Yep, we've all seen the jokes that I wrote. Luigi Tron 51 for $5. So if you want to pay to repeat my own jokes to me, that's fine. Jericho as an ambassador. Oh, those Kylie Ray allegations will magically appear again. Follows it up with.
No, I'd say Tony Khan is more liable in that situation.
Chef Eddie for $5 says, did you guys see the article about WWE having first refusal for buying TNA?
Yeah.
I
don't think they want to buy it. I think they're fine with the way things are at the moment.
Well, there was also an article saying that they couldn't buy them if they wanted to. The main thing, I think there might be something in there where WWE, if TNA sells, it would have to be to someone who wants to continue the WWE deal. That might be written into WWE's deal with TNA, is like, we have to make sure it's not like Tony Khan's not going to come in and buy you guys, and then we're going to be stuck with all these storylines and titles and stuff that we don't have anything to do with, kind of thing. So there might be something in there, but honestly, I think the only TNA sales talk that I heard that seemed even remotely out there was the guy who used to own UFC talking about buying them, and that would basically be TKO getting around the fact that they couldn't buy them. So I don't know. It's all talk right now.
Could they not buy them because of monopoly?
The MLW thing, apparently there was some kind of issue with that where they can't buy, with the agreement that they made with TNA, with MLW, means they couldn't buy TNA.
The only thing they would want TNA for anyway is the tape library, and they could probably just use whatever they want to use with all the help they're giving them.
Yeah, I think maybe if this was 2 years ago, I think WWE would be interested in buying TNA, but with the deal they have right now and everything, TNA has no reason to mess with WWE at all. And the only thing, like I said, I think if anything, WWE might have a deal, like something written in their deal with TNA saying, look, if you guys are going to sell, run it by us first so that we can actually, something like that, maybe.
Right. Because they've put some investment in at this point.
Right. Exactly.
Even just an investment of time, even if it's not a lot of capital. But CWJ for $5 says, Kev, what do you think the vets are thinking with the small crowds in AEW? I can only imagine how depressing on some level that must be. Thank you. I mean, like when Edge comes out and runs to the side and one of the sides is empty?
I mean, it's two things, right? When the show is light, you got to work harder because you got to try to build it up. The other side of it is, you got to kind of be real about what's going on here. The mindset is either right, well, it sucks now, and I'm gonna do everything I can to rebuild it. Or you're going, this place is an effing joke. But they're all professionals, so they're gonna work their ass off because you're gonna come back there, and the mission is to get someone who's there to leave the show and go, oh my God, you should have come with me. It was awesome. You're going to come next time because you're not going to believe what you missed.
Right.
But yeah, I think being realistic, I think everybody knows what they're there for. They're there to get a big fat payday before they bow out. And, except for Christian. Christian is the only person who is like, hey, I'm going to show you because you, for some reason, didn't really see it in me. And Christian has proven that for whatever reason, the guy is a major commodity who never got used to his fullest in the WWE.
Yep.
Let's see. Luigi Tron for $10 says Jericho going back to WWE, and all I'm imagining is the Chappelle Show skit with him and Wayne Brady and Triple H telling Jericho, "I'm a bald asshole, huh, motherfucker." That is one of my favorite Chappelle Show sketches. I'm Wayne Brady, bitch.
Is Paul Levesque gonna have to choke a bitch?
Bitch in this situation is you, Cal. I love the my favorite part is the Dave hose Dave, even in bitches. And then when he goes, run, bitch, run for your life, get some help.
Run!
Andre Adams for $4.99 says you can kind of program AEW with the WNBA. People would still struggle with what not to watch.
AEW now with less dildos.
Yes. Regina Sharp for $5 says I am shocked to discover contract extensions or tamper in this establishment. Right? Not Tooney Khan for $1.99 says he's my toy and I'll keep me as long as I want. 1KQ for $5 New Zealand says I gotta agree with Dis. Danhausen would be a pretty funny comedy type for backstage segments, a la R-Truth. Yeah, but eventually the bell's gotta ring.
Right. Yeah, that's why I said manager or something like that. But yeah.
Monkey Balls for $5 says I only want Jericho back to see him grin and bear the finger point pick.
Oh.
Could you imagine? Be the first one where he's holding up a middle finger to point to the guy. I hate you so much.
That'd be hilarious because Triple H normally does that for like young talent who he's kind of giving the rub to, or people who want
CM Punk.
Or people. Oh, did he do it, CM Punk? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No, it was like the thing where like they actually showed them taking the
right.
picture, and he was like, "Come here, let's break the internet."
I remember that now.
Not Tooney Khan for $1.99 says me breaking promises. No, I didn't. Andre Adams for $1.99 says, so what happened to the 4 pillars of AEW? Who were they again?
Okay, MJF is there, and he's in a pretty prominent position.
Yes.
Jungle Boy, I don't know.
Did he forget that he has him?
Yeah, Sammy Guevara. No, Jungle Boy's friends with the Bucks, so he's not going anywhere. Sammy Guevara had those problems. And I believe the other one was Ricky Starks.
Yes.
No, was it Ricky Starks? No, it was
Darby.
No, it was Darby.
Oh, that's right, Darby. Yeah, there you go.
Ricky Starks was the backup pillar.
Right. Yeah, Darby is they're doing that lights out match next at Forbidden Door, which, by the way, funny story. I heard that the reason that that's not a blood and guts match is because they have to use a local cage, and the local cage is a weird size. They can't do it with the blood. They can't do blood and guts with it.
Why would they have to use a local cage?
Because they're in England, so they can't. It's impossible to get a cage to England.
I'm just saying, if Cody was able to ship a wrestling ring to Nigeria, or wherever it was that soft ground wrestling got their ring. I don't know.
Yeah, they're using they had to use a local ring, so they can't
Gotcha.
They can't do blood and guts. So instead they're doing like a 12-man, no rules, lights out cage match.
Oh boy, can't wait for that. Gosh, that's this weekend, isn't it?
Yep, it sure is.
All right, guys, buckle up.
I'll be there.
I'll be there as well. Not Tooney Khan for $1.99 since he's friends with that poopy face Punk. Yeah, I think honestly that is part of the reason. Okay, so we'll take a break from the super chats there. We will come back to them momentarily, And let's move on here, guys, because we got a lot more to talk about. So do we want to get Dave out of the way, or should we go to lifestyles of the rich and clueless?
Let's do Dave in case Awful decides to show up. He'll probably want to be part of the Tony Khan thing. So,
well, there's I'm going to be late, and there's an hour and a half into the show, and you're not here. But okay. I hope he shows up right as the Mone mag is starting. All right. So this week in Dave Meltzer, somebody said, because he's claiming that Dynamite now is beating Raw, right? That's his thing because of the max numbers.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So this person says they have not beaten the flagship show for the largest wrestling promotion in the world, David, just because you love the style that AEW wrestles. Then he goes, the numbers are out there. This isn't guesswork or controversy. It's simple fact. And someone responds, the Netflix numbers were provided by Netflix. The AEW Max numbers were provided by some nobody that's also your friend. No offense. The former's fake while the latter's not. Genuinely asking, Dave, how does that even compute for you? Like, seriously, though? Because Tony say that those numbers were real.
The only person who gives out Max numbers are David Zasloff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he calls me all the time.
The next one's a doozy.
Yeah.
Here's the number. Here's Meltzer math, buddy.
Okay, so yeah, this was the guy who said the numbers were provided by Netflix. The AEW Max numbers were provided by some nobody that's also your friend. He responds, if the Netflix numbers were real for the last week, it would mean less than 300,000 views worldwide were live. So collision numbers, do the math. How can you get 5.5 million hours and 2.7 million views when live, and until they stop airing commercials is 2 hours, 39 minutes, 2.65 hours. And the version up the next day is 1 hour, 59 minutes, 1.98 hours. Use basic math and make those add up. And keep in mind the 2.65 number is the time until they do the change, which is usually Tuesday. The math isn't hard. What?
So what?
Okay,
Meltzer math is the opposite of Steiner math, because Steiner math is flawless.
Meltzer is assuming that everyone watches wrestling the exact same way he does. Which is, he watches it exactly when it starts. He finishes it exactly when it's over. He doesn't get up from his chair. He has his stopwatch and his notes out, and he's watching every second. But when it's on Netflix, for this to be true, nobody could start watching Raw like 2 minutes after, because if they start 2 minutes after Raw starts, they're not counted as a live viewer. If they don't watch the entire episode of Raw, they're not counted as a live viewer. He's just completely discounting that people might watch 2 hours of Raw and not finish it, or they might watch an hour of Raw and not finish it, or they might watch all of Raw and then finish and then go back and watch a couple matches again later. Like,
right. He's
acting like the only way you can watch Raw is if you sit there and you watch the TV from beginning to end, and then you never watch it again.
Because that's the only way to watch it, weirdo.
I honestly think that in his weirdo brain, he thinks that everyone in the world does literally everything the exact same way that he does it. Well, everyone wipes back to front, right?
I don't think Kevin meant to do that, but that was actually perfect timing.
Yeah. So this person, so somebody asked Grok, and Grok says Uncle Dave is saying Netflix has reported 5.5 million viewing hours and 2.7 million views for the WWE show don't add up mathematically. And then I guess Grok undoes that. Well, somebody went to Grok to do their math and then came up with 230,000 live worldwide watch Raw. Obviously, that's fake. Ergo, the Netflix numbers for Raw are gimmicked.
Come on, dude.
Come on, dude. You're grasping at straws here. So then somebody says, I think Scott Steiner might have a problem with this gimmick infringement. Steiner math means you're right. Meltzer math is always wrong. He goes, people who say Meltzer math is wrong are people who literally never learned second grade math. Simple division is not a difficult concept.
Literally.
I don't think you know what that word means. You keep using that word. I don't think you know what it means.
There's a Teen Titans episode dedicated to Meltzer's use of the word literally.
Okay. So Dave also threw a fit about the AAA show because he hates the fact that WWE is involved with AAA. So let's see what he had to say.
News coming out of the show, or at least in the finish, was AJ Styles. Dom put a mask on, put the little gimmick in the mask, started doing headbutts, was about to win the match, and then AJ interrupted the match, gave him the Styles Clash, and then Vikingo did the 630 that bomb to win.
Levesque was backstage running it.
Okay,
and
stop.
Nick Khan, I know, appeared, but
He
they
wasn't.
He wasn't. This. I pulled this clip because it proves he did not watch.
He
this
was
show.
not watching the show.
We had a clip. Yeah, we had a clip earlier of Triple H sitting at ringside. You think Triple H came out for Pimpalita? You think he just watched that? That's what he decided to come out for.
I had to see it for myself.
I need to see the fan perspective. Soak it all in.
Much like Bret Hart, they didn't have a seat ready for me, so I'm just going to go to the back now.
And Nick Khan, I know, appeared, but they were there. Undertaker was there backstage.
Because he was running it.
What does it matter if Undertaker was there backstage?
Everybody knows it. Triple H told you he runs the bloody show.
It was very much a WWE show as far as like being put together. Was there any surprises besides Otis in the Battle Royal?
He doesn't. Okay, pause. Yeah, Omos won the Battle Royal, and Dave Meltzer just goes, "Was there any surprises besides Otis?"
Right? Like you clearly didn't watch it.
Just say you didn't watch it, dude. Just admit you didn't watch it.
Well, I watched some of it.
Surprises besides Otis in the Battle Royal?
Omos actually won the thing.
Okay, he could do well there.
Microman was in it.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with him there. Omos actually can do well in I had no issue with Omos being there. I know some people were like, "Oh," but like, no, I'm like, that's the kind of gimmick that they go nuts for there.
And Omos is getting practical experience in a live crowd, and a different kind of crowd,
and building his legend.
So is this like a bigger size mismatch than Great Khali and Hornswoggle was? Yes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he was. I knew that they had signed
Omos and Microman.
I can
in
imagine.
that match.
I can imagine because I didn't watch it.
There was a clip going around of Microman and Hornswoggle where Hornswoggle puts his hand up like the test of strength thing, and he basically plays the giant in the match against Microman.
That's so funny. Okay, so do we go to Dave CMLL next? Or
do the other Dave clip, and then we'll do CML, because the reason I pulled CMLL was to compare his reaction to that to how he did Triple Mania. So
right here's Captain Smarmy.
Sent out their usual deal about all these records,
some of which were totally made up. I mean, it was legitimately a sellout. It was the biggest gate that they ever had for. It's probably the biggest gate for pro wrestling ever in Mexico, because
I'm legitimately shocked that he admitted that. Because AEW and CMLL just had their show there.
Just wait till we get to the CMLL.
The old days, they didn't have ticket prices like they charge now. Gate wise, I'm sure they set a record. Attendance wise, it was probably the biggest Triple Mania in several years. I think they claimed like record viewership, and that's absolutely ridiculous.
No, it was on worldwide on YouTube, Dave. Triple Mania was never.
I mean, it's, if they're gonna,
They claim the highest grossing and most viewed Triple Mania.
Yeah, it can't be the most viewed because
in
it was
history.
Triple Mania.
It can't be the most viewed, Brian, because I didn't watch it.
Triple Mania, by the way, I believe as of yesterday was up to like 4.1 million views across all platforms, and then today was up to 5 point something. Now, okay, if you go and look, there were times when Triple Mania was being broadcast on like 4 different channels in Mexico, but they don't keep ratings the same way we do. It's harder to keep track of it. It's just, you can't really compare. WWE is saying we have hard numbers, and according to hard numbers, this got the most views. And I mean, you can't really argue with it. If you do, you're using numbers that are kind of weird and sketchy, so.
Was on network TV in the past in Mexico. I mean, that's going to.
Network TV in Mexico does not beat worldwide numbers on the internet for free, Dave.
No.
Going to be way more views. And they've done millions. The Dr. Wagner and Psycho Clown mask match aired right after, I think it was right after a Canelo fight, but after a giant boxing match, and did like giant numbers. I mean, way beyond. I mean, even if way beyond anything that this show did.
Give actual numbers or shut the fuck up.
Right.
So I mean that the idea was the most viewed. Again, like they've had Triple Manias on network television in Mexico that were much bigger.
I have no actual proof of what I'm saying, but I'm going to say it anyway because journalism, Ryan.
But also remember, AEW got 81,000 in Wembley, though, and we can't argue that, and we can't fight that number.
Nope.
So,
and Saturday's CMLL shows are gigantic, and this is probably the first time in probably decades that a company will sell more tickets over the course of a year than WWE. It's possible that's not the case, but it's going to be close if it's not the case. Because when I was trying to estimate everything, I had them kind of up.
Oh, when I was trying to estimate everything, I was like, how could I bullshit this to have to say exactly what I wanted to say?
Yeah, he's
ahead. And I never thought about that because last year they weren't, but they're doing 15, 16 almost every week now. And the Saturday shows are selling out or coming close. The Monday shows are selling out or coming close. Guadalajara, which is one of the two Tuesday shows.
I'm sorry, is he trying to say that CMLL is selling more tickets than WWE?
He is saying that CMLL is hotter than WWE right now. While saying that he was trying to qualify every single bit of success AAA had. But when it comes to CMLL, they're hotter than WWE. They're selling these places out. And by the way, you know what your average ticket price in CMLL is? Any guess? Anybody?
Like $2.
The lowest was about 7, and the highest was like 40. And AAA's ticket prices go all the way up to like $800. So, and that's American. That's adjusted for America. So it's just a dumb comparison when you're talking. You're bragging about 17,000 in a show that makes average, let's call it $20 a ticket, when AAA is selling tickets for $800 and selling out.
By the way, shout out AEW Neckbeard, mod extraordinaire out there in the chat, keeping you guys company with this just comment that is absolutely amazing because it's so true.
Tuesday show is working on 8 sellouts in a row. I mean, so they're almost always selling out now.
Well, they're selling out these 300-seat arenas, Brian.
That's not fair. They're doing like
I know they're bigger. I know they're bigger. I'm just making a joke.
Yeah, I know.
Comedy's sake.
Most uncovered story. I mean, the amazing thing about it. I mean, if you said 7 years ago that CMLL will sell more tickets than WWE, I would say, well, WWE must be like collapsing.
Beard says he holds a microphone like he's doing Japanese karaoke. Moon, prism, power, makeup.
And it's anything but. And the other thing would be that the idea that, except for WWE, more Americans buy tickets to see CMLL, and it's really just Fridays and Tuesdays.
How?
Than any other company, including AEW.
How do you qualify that? How do you qualify that?
Oh, because I said so. I studied this.
How do the arenas ID you when you buy your tickets, and if they mark down how many Americans are coming?
I have anecdotal evidence in my brain.
And it's like mind-boggling, like that this is even possible. But I mean, the numbers are just ridiculous. And
because I made
them
up.
I agree. They are completely ridiculous.
Literally.
Yeah. I mean, they're selling tickets. They're doing well. I don't want to say that CMLL is not doing well.
No.
But to completely downplay the success of Triple Mania and then to go on to CMLL and talk about them, literally say that they're as hot or hotter than WWE is a crazy person statement. No one can say that. How would you?
Well, I like them and I don't like WWE.
There, that's it. That's the end. I was looking at some of the stuff between CMLL, and personally, I think that like the MJF storyline in CMLL is far more insulting to Mexican culture than anything El Grande Americano has done. Mm-hmm. Everyone talks about CMLL like the traditional lucha libre company, but I mean, WWE is bending to fit lucha libre, right? That's what it seems like. They're bending their characters to fit into AAA. And it seems like whenever Mox or MJF go to AAA, they're Mox and MJF, and they do American Mox MJF things. So CMLL used Dijak a few weeks ago. Like, come on, man. To act like they're so traditional is ridiculous.
Goodness. All right. Well, guys, that's Dave for you.
For y'all.
All right, let's get a couple more super chats in. 1KQ for $2 New Zealand says if it was 2014, Vince would put Danhausen on the WWE network. I don't know about that. I don't think Vince would know what to make of Danhausen.
Danhausen would not have been signed by Vince. He could be signed now. He would never been signed by Vince.
Yeah.
Vince wanted them to get rid of what Triple H had his heart attack, and Vince immediately fired half of the roster.
Right.
And actually said, why is it a bunch of little vanilla guys here that I can't do anything with?
Andre Adams for $1.99 says Conan was hilarious on Triple Mania commentary. He usually is, but not for it's usually laughing at, not with. Blazing Bolts for $2 says I agree with Triple H. What the F is this?
K-Dog is awesome.
I love how annoyed what's his face gets with Conan on commentary. Not Matt. What's his Corey Graves. I like how annoyed he gets. Mike Middleton for $2.79 Canadian says nice pants. Colin Mockery is the GOAT. Regina Sharp for $5 says weren't the charges against Del Rio dropped because the witness disappeared? I don't know.
One of them disappeared, yes. They found her alive, though, so she wasn't.
Oh, okay. Regina Sharp also said for $5, high adrenaline situations can lead to a supercharging of the libido. You might not be far off with the celebration style there, Marv. Oh, boy.
Owner.
Regina Sharp for $5 says Spaceball 1 is now, looks at Kettle Drum. Mega Bailey. Juan Araya Garcia for $2.99 Australian, I guess it is, or I'm not sure. Says I shared a locker room with Madman Pongo in Japan. That's cool. Hope it was nice. Maddie H6T for $1.99 says can't throw a D-do in AEW. They might try to wrestle it. Yeah, don't throw it when Kenny Omega's in the ring. Liquid Fox, or when most of their guys are in the ring, probably, or when any of their fans are around. Liquid Fox for $5 Canadian says you're wrong. The AW4 pillars are Sheldon, Raj, Leonard, and Howard, which I believe that is true. Andre Adams for $9.99 says indie wrestlers bribe Dave with exclusive colors of Just for Men. It's called Meltzer Mud. Not Tooney Khan for $1.99 says, oh, I thought that was Almost versus Adam Cole. Thought there was a regular sized wrestler versus Adam Cole. Andre Adams for $4.99 says Dave's face defeated Cocoa Butter and Lotion in a handicap match.
Oh, brutal.
Virginia Sharp for $5 says Vince goes magic. We fired the last magic guy, Danhausen. What the hell do you do? Pull a real wrestler out of your ass. If so, I'd like to see that, pal. Oh my goodness. That's
I'll throw that dildo. I have to name it.
Regina Sharp called me out. Has Marvin not seen Spaceballs? No, I've not seen Spaceballs.
You have not seen Spaceballs? Hold on a second.
No, believe it or not, I've never seen Spaceballs.
My camera's over here. My camera's off. Oh, hold on. How?
I don't know.
Seen Spaceballs?
I don't know.
Never seen Spaceballs?
No.
Are you kidding me?
I had to go out of my way to find Star Wars as a kid because, like, you know, most kids like go into like, you know, what their dad is into, and like their dad's like, come here, son, I want to show you Star Wars for the first time. My dad has never seen Star Wars or anything cool. My dad watches baseball and football nonstop. He watched the Little League World Series ad nauseum while I was up there for the last week. So I had to seek everything out myself.
I'm right there with you, man. When my dad showed me movies, he did show me Mad Bull, the wrestling movie starring the dad from Webster. He showed me that. That was good. But then the other movie that he always made me watch was I Will Fight No More Forever. So I feel you. Okay. I understand.
My father's favorite show is this idiotic Somebody Feed Phil show. And he's been trying to get me to watch it for like 5 years. And in every episode we watched while I was up there, it's literally like Phil brings on some random politician. And I was like, so is this all just political propaganda, like masked with this guy eating food? And my dad got like ludicrously pissed at me for saying it. Like, he like made like a big show of like switching it off and putting on the Big Bang Theory. Like, and I was like, good, Big Bang Theory, this is an improvement. They're like, no, you don't understand. This is the guy that wrote Everybody Loves Raymond. I'm like, cool, let's watch that because that's actually funny and fun. This is not. This is some guy eating things, and then he brings on Anna Escamani to be like, oh, the people of Orlando are strong. And I'm like, shut up. I don't want to hear politician nonsense. My dad had a diners, drive-ins, and dives little phase there for a while where that's all I'd be able to watch when I went over there. So, yeah, I get it. Although my dad did introduce me to Police Squad and Ernest, so I can't be too mad at him for it. All right, guys, I will watch Spaceballs sometime this month. I promise. Okay. It's a classic. I mean, I know it's a classic. I've seen clips and stuff. I know a lot of the references, but you know, it just never actually sat down and watched it. Yeah, you should definitely watch it before the new one comes out because you'll probably have to watch the new one, and the new one's not going to be anywhere near as good as that one. Don't watch the new one. Well, my knee-jerk reaction was going to be I'm not going to watch the new one, but then I realized I'm going to have to watch the new one. Right, yeah. Did you watch History of the World Part 2? Anybody? Oh, so bad. It's so bad. So bad. Well, the Spaceballs cartoon was awful, too. Yeah. It's like Wanda Sykes is not Mel Brooks, guys. No. I'm sorry. I don't know why you think. Yeah. God bless my wife. She's sitting there while the Little League World, the 80th baseball game is on, and she's trying to ask questions to seem interested. And I'm like, don't. It's a stupid, boring game. Like, oh, I like baseball. It was boring before they ruined it, and now it's even more boring. Right back to steroids. I was watching. Oh my god! Right, it was so much more entertaining when the steroids were in play. Hey, check out the Savannah Bananas. They're fun. I watched them a couple times when I got nothing else to do. My favorite Lewis Black quote was when he was like, "These guys today are on steroids, and they're still struggling to beat like Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig, like the alcoholics, like the guys that were on the performance hindering substances." Oh my goodness. But the other one that nobody can believe I've not seen is Labyrinth. Nah, that's okay. Trish nearly decapitated me the first time I said it. I mean, I get why people would expect you to see it, but I'll say it's not my thing either. So I totally understand. No, it's very boring. That and like Dark Crystal. Did you like? I liked the Dark Crystal from a technical perspective. Had I seen the Dark Crystal as a child, I would have been scared out of my mind. Thank you. That's where I was. Okay. The first time I watched Dark Crystal was in
we went to a drive-in where they had 2 screens, and I watched it out the back without any sound, and I had nightmares for a month, and I still can't watch Dark Crystal to this day.
Yeah, like that scene where the Skeksis are all like having that like banquet. I would have like that would have been it for me. I was scared when I was a kid. I was scared of the Jim Henson Dinosaurs show. The refrigerator creeped me out.
I didn't like the.
I didn't open the refrigerator and all the hands would come out, and I'd just be like, they're gonna kill and eat all those things.
I was afraid of early Kermit when I was a kid. They'd always show that clip of like early Kermit eating the other puppet, and I'd freak out.
Oh, like Sam and Friends stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. So, folks, it's time for a little segment we're calling Lifestyles of the Rich and Clueless. So let's take a look.
Hey, it's great to see you all.
I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. But I'm not going to be a rip-off artist there. But I just like the fact that I have a bell on my desk now that I can ring. But yes, so this is what it is, guys. We are going along with Coach Tony K exploring his crib. So, hey Mercedes, take a look at what I can offer you. Here we go.
I'll wait a moment as people trickle in, but I'm really excited. Today's a Wednesday, and it's Wednesday Night Dynamite. We're here in Chicago.
Okay, can we ring the bell every time he says Dynamite?
If you want, it's going to be a lot because that's all this is about. I mean, besides the house, you know.
Right.
Chicago's one of the home cities of AEW, one of the first AEW shows ever here.
It's also where a crowd made me cry when I tried to explain why I fired CM Punk. By the way, what are the odds that like that painting is waiting for him to make prolonged eye contact, and then the girl will be gone and he'll be in the painting, like trapped? Because my God, that is a hauntingly creepy painting behind him. And I guarantee you it costs like 10 grand.
The game we need to play here is at the end. We have to decide what percentage of this house Tony actually designed decorated and didn't have his parents do it for him. Because wait, just watch.
Here, AEW All Out was here. That was before we even started doing Wednesday Night Dynamite. Now we've done over 300 episodes of Wednesday Night Dynamite, and we are back in the
Who calls it Wednesday Night Dynamite, first of all?
Marv, hit the bell. It'll make it funnier. Start over. All
right. But seriously, who calls it Wednesday Night Dynamite?
Tony Khan.
I have never heard another human being say Wednesday Night Dynamite. It's just AEW Dynamite.
He says it as often as he tweets it.
All right. Well, we'll do the bell. Apologies to Jim Cornette because I know he does the bell for the great, but we will do it as well for AEW for Dynamite.
Hey, it's great to see you all. I'll wait a moment as people trickle in, but I'm really excited.
I love that we have like him here next to like the picture of him from the thumbnail.
Today's a Wednesday, and it's Wednesday Night Dynamite. We're here in Chicago. Chicago's one of the home cities of AEW, one of the first AEW shows ever here. AEW All Out was here. That was before we even started doing Wednesday Night Dynamite. Now we've done over 300 episodes of Wednesday Night Dynamite, and we are back in the Windy City, Chicago tonight. We're about 6 hours away, just under 6 hours away from Dynamite kicking off. We're here in Chicago, Illinois.
Oh my God, we know where you are! I don't understand.
He talks like a toddler.
And we're in Chicago, and Chicago is where Dynamite is. And tonight, Dynamite is here in Chicago. And Chicago is a great city because in Chicago, we're doing Dynamite. And Dynamite is going to be here in Chicago. Like, motherfucker.
Somebody get this image, too, that you paused on.
Oh, my goodness.
Family's home. It's one of the great things about being in Chicago. We talk about the art of professional wrestling, but the real art is art. And I'm here in front of...
Did he just say the real art is art?
That is profound.
That is DDP levels of profound.
I haven't heard anything so profound. The late great Merrill Howard Kalin regaled us with the "Thank you for having you."
It's such.
If you understand what I just referenced, by the way,
it's so much like I'm 14 and I'm deep, right? It's like, dude, art is like art, right?
No, so my buddy and I, we send each other some of these like DDP inspirational quotes because some of them are really dumb. Where he's just like today, the one he sent me was, "If you always want it, if you focus on what you don't have, you're always gonna want something." I'm like, what? Yeah, that's the definition of what you just said, Dallas. But okay, he's helped a lot of people, so I'm not gonna hold it against him.
Of Renoir's portrait of Pierre Renoir in a sailor suit. You may have seen.
Wait, what? Hold on, I gotta go back.
He's flexing.
He's flexing with his Renoir.
Yeah.
Look, Mercedes, I have a Renoir. Don't you like me better than the bull guy?
Timu Mantar does not have fancy paintings like I do.
He doesn't have Renoir.
I'm here in front of Renoir's portrait of Pierre Renoir in a sailor suit. You may have seen the print of this. You may have seen the photo online at various points. This is the original portrait. My father's a great.
Is this just I'm rich?
Yes, it is.
This entire thing just I'm rich?
Yep. 100%. Look how rich I am.
Oh, look, Mercedes. It's because seriously, I feel like he has a major crush on Mercedes, but Daddy won't let him date one of the talent.
Maybe I think it's the other way. I think he has a crush on her, but he still has his girlfriend, and he couldn't break up with her in time, so she got with Frank the lawyer, and now he's super upset about it. Oh, I'm sorry, Frank Mortis. That's his name now.
Frank the lawyer nurse. I'm a lawyer and a nurse. Like, that's a lot of school, man. Like, you passed the bar and the nursing exam? Good for you.
Great art collector. My parents collect art, and my sister and I were lucky to grow up around some of the greatest art. And being here in Chicago, I just wanted to show you my home before I head off to work. This is the original Renoir, and of course, this is Chicago, Illinois. This is my home.
Oh my God, we know where you are. You've said it 67 times since you started talking.
What day is this? I don't. Is it Wednesday?
He's looking at the screen. He sees his glasses and he can't fix his glasses. They were crooked the entire time.
But also, like, is he trying to show us his house, but also is unwilling to like flip the camera, dude? Like, you have to have your stupid face in the shot at all times?
Yes.
Taking a walk here.
Let's go. Here we go.
A great spot to talk. Heading to my father's office.
No one can see what you're doing because you're keeping the camera on you. If the point is to show the house, show the house.
A great spot to talk.
This is just like your smile, and it just continues on. And by the way, also it looks like it's not your house. This is your father's house,
right? With lots and lots of brooms.
Turning some lights on.
Just not talking.
He's got these newfangled snap-on electric lights. Mr. Edison sure is nice to our house.
And this is Marc Chagall.
What is he?
This is a Marc Chagall.
What? What wrestling fan is like, oh, look at the Marc Chagall?
I know this is not.
I find his use of color to be fascinating.
Apparently, Frazier and Niles are AEW's.
Frazier and Niles are huge AEW fans.
Portrait and original Marc Chagall. A lot of great Marc Chagall paintings involve the sun, and and here's the sun.
There it
Oh my
is.
gosh. And here's your father's son.
Hold your hand still.
It's a
And
pain.
that sun will be
You'll go. You're fine.
And that's
setting tonight here in Chicago as we get ready to start Wednesday Night Dynamite. We're less than 6 hours away. The show goes live tonight.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding.
What a transition.
Oof.
What is the point of this? Who is watching this and go, you know what? That man has a nice painting. I'm going to check out his wrestling program tonight.
Mark Chagall, a lot of great Mark Chagall paintings involve the sun, and here's the sun. And that sun will be setting tonight here in Chicago as we get ready to start Wednesday Night Dynamite. We're less than 6 hours away. The show goes live tonight. We announced on AEW Collision that the great world champions of AEW will both be fighting tonight. Hangman Page taking on Wheeler Yuta. A bit of revenge.
She's like, here's the Mars Chagall. Notice the use of colors in the sunset and the use of the sun in Mars Chagall. And tonight, on a page, it's going to go one-on-one. Like,
Silent Miles.
You're speaking to two different audiences.
Danhausen will be fighting Wheeler Yuta. We just missed this.
Sunday.
He sounds just like that little kid in Tiny Toons, man. I'm telling you.
Which one?
The one who would just go up to the camera and tell a story and then run away.
Oh, that's Animaniacs.
Oh, Animaniacs. Sorry.
Okay, so one time, like Randy Beeman's mother, like she had this dream that she was eating a marshmallow, and then she woke up and her pillow was gone because she ate it. Okay, bye.
Payback maybe on the mind of the Hangman after what happened to his longtime friend Colt Cabana, a man from Chicago, a man who in fact has hosted a show called The Art of Wrestling. And
speaking of the art of wrestling, let's take a look at some more of my father's art.
He was so proud of that. He was so proud. You know he was. He's like, look, I can wrap back around. I got him back, baby.
I'm a wordsmith.
And a man who was bloodied and beaten by John Moxley and the Death Riders. Great chance for Hangman Page, the AEW World Champion, to get some payback tonight on Wheeler Yuta, one of the Death Riders who was involved in putting down Colt Cabana, bloodying him this past Saturday here in Chicago, Colt's hometown, on AEW Collision. We've got Hangman versus Yuta. Also, I'm really, really excited for the first time ever on Dynamite. The world champion, Timeless Tony Storm, is going to fight Billy Starks, the protege of Athena, the ROH world champion. Athena is in line with a guaranteed world title shot. And
is he reading this at this point? Because it sounds like he's reading this.
He could be, but also, are we going to talk about that awful Athena promo?
Oh, God.
I didn't see it.
I mean
awful.
It's Athena. I don't know what.
For everybody wanted to go, why did Vince see anything in her? Well, she showed you this weekend.
Yeah.
And it's very, very interesting now because Billy Starks is one of the top young wrestlers in the world. Really, really a young wrestling prodigy, mentored by one of the great stars in Athena. And Billy Starks will get a world title shot if she wins this tonight. And there's Athena, as it's Shark Week. Athena really circling the ring like a shark herself.
Do you know
Got him.
If he was a Beetlejuice character, he could summon and then dispose and then resummon and dispose of Beetlejuice in less than 2 minutes. With the way he repeats
Beetlejuice would have whiplash.
Yes.
It's showtime.
I just love the whole. By the way, realize it's Shark Week because I'm about to make a really cool pun. Okay. But now you have the context. So let me get to my pun. It's like awful.
And certainly she's going to be keeping an eye on this as she's in line for a title shot, and her protege is wrestling Timeless Tony Storm for a title shot herself tonight.
You know, I never understood why Vince didn't like the term title shot until I just heard Tony Khan use it 10 times in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, yeah, no, championship opportunity.
I'm sorry, I gotta do this. I feel like Tony took the short limo telemetry. Good one, Chef Eddie.
That was a good one.
Where'd it go? There it is.
On Wednesday Night Dynamite. You can watch the show on TBS. You can watch the show on HBO Max. We start on TBS tonight and HBO Max at 7 p.m. here in Chicago, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be a great show. A lot of times wrestling companies will make some announcements on the day of the show because they get engagement. It's a way to get you talking about the show, get you.
You mean like what you're doing? Sometimes wrestling companies make announcements on the day of the show to get engagement. I'm trying something different by weirdly showing you all of my dad's artwork on Twitter. Repeating the same thing to you 8,000 times.
Interested in the show and do something to say, hey, there's something big on the show tonight you're going to want to watch. Typically, those match announcements are the most engagement you're going to get on the day of the show. I think they do very, very well. Of course, we've got some big stuff we've already announced, but I'm going to be making more match announcements throughout the day. I won't have this kind of decor, although I will be in another beautiful historic place in Chicago in minutes from.
What the fuck?
He just thinks this is also an SEO course. If you pay, he's going to charge. You have to pay him $49.99 a month if you want the next installment of this video where he tells you how to get engagement on your YouTube page. But right now he's explaining.
Holy shit.
Keywords. Okay.
You know, sometimes people make big announcements on the day of shows, and those get great engagement. So we're going to do that, and we're going to make big announcements. But we're not going to do it right here. And when I make the big announcements later on, big announcements are my favorite thing, major announcements. We haven't had a good, like, Tony Khan will make a major announcement in a long time.
No.
Like, don't get me wrong, I like his new stuff, but sometimes it's nice to hear the classics be played.
He's fallen back into it. There was something.
Now I'll be at the Aragon Ballroom. It's a venue that's almost 100 years old. I believe 97 years old.
I'm going to stand right here in this window so that you cannot see anything. I'm literally standing in a mansion that actually people might want to see, but you're just going to look at my face and the blinding glare from behind me. That's how we're going to do this.
I paid J.J. Abrams to direct this live stream.
J.J. Abrams and James Gunn, apparently, because I watched Superman with my wife the other night, and it's lens flare central. I could not believe how many lens flares there were.
And I recently learned some family history. My grandfather, my mother's father,
owned slaves. Is that not where we're going?
By the
I thought it was really weird. I brought it up to MVP, and he did not seem to be as interested in it as I was.
By the way, this is the third one of these he's done, and the fact that he's about to reveal, he's also revealed on the second and the first one of these that he did.
Oh God, did he really?
Yes, but it's a big reveal. He just found out, Mark.
Just found out.
What worked and was at the Aragon Ballroom almost 90 years ago. So cool family tradition getting to go back there now with AEW.
I was really disappointed. I went to the Aragon Ballroom and there were no dragons. Deep cut nerd joke there.
Over 90 years later, after my mother's father, who I never had the pleasure of meeting, was there many years ago. So in addition to the great match announcements that we've made and more match announcements that are going to be coming your way.
Hold on a second.
I'm going to continue giving you information on places members of my family have been.
I said, hold on. Did Tony just try to get a Papuli died, a sympathy pop out of him?
Yeah, he did try to get a Papuli died pop.
In the next few hours, we're just so excited about Wednesday Night Dynamite tonight, and I wanted to try something different to get the engagement. So if you're watching this live,
you don't say that out loud, Tony.
That's like you coming on here being like, well, we picked a thumbnail we weren't really going to talk about because we knew people would click on it. But then doing that live during the show.
Did I just put on the They Live glasses and did I put on like a They Live earphones and heard you say the thing that you're hiding? Gosh.
We're just
oh God, he's back to the ghost girl.
over 5.5 hours away from going live tonight on TBS and HBO Max. And if you're
what show?
Watching this on delay, it may be a little bit less. And if you're watching this at night, the show might be on now. So don't miss Wednesday Night Dynamite tonight. And it's always great when we can do the shows in Chicago. Not only do I get to see my family, it was my father's 75th birthday this weekend. So
He was like, I've spent 75 years on this earth, and this is my male heir. Dad, can I show my friends your cool paintings? Do you have to bring people in here? No, they're in my phone.
God, if I had any other son, I could have died 4 years ago.
Thank God your sister has a brain.
away from social media for a little bit. Haven't been posting as much. Really excited.
Yeah, because they took my phone away.
I was grounded, but I just got off a punishment this weekend for my dad's birthday.
It's always great when we can do the shows in Chicago. Not only do I get to see my family, it was my father's 75th birthday this weekend.
What?
So I've been away from social media for a little bit. Haven't been posting as much. Really excited to get back in today. I am a crazy person. We're at my father's.
Yes, you are.
Yes. That's the first correct thing he said on this live stream.
75th birthday, and I'm making match announcements at the dinner table and posting all elite graphics. I really do love it, and my parents know that. So they've been very
They say tell the people on the Twitters and don't tell us about it.
He's been doing it since he was 12 years old.
Oh, I'm sure he's been making match announcements for his E-Fed at the dinner table since he was 12 years old. You're 100% right.
It's no different. They're just used to it.
accommodating of my wrestling habits since I was a very young kid.
Oh, there it is.
And, and speaking of young kids, here we are again with.
Speaking of young kids, I'm about to fire up Roblox and.
I need to tell the Roblox kids that it's Wednesday Night Dynamite.
Look, when your dad's a Godzillionaire, you can afford a lot of Robux.
Mr. Pierre Renoir in a sailor suit as painted by his father, Renoir. And I am very, very excited about Wednesday Night Dynamite tonight. Hopefully, some of you have enjoyed this, even if you don't watch wrestling. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing some of
who on earth is watching this that doesn't watch wrestling?
The art enthusiasts who wanted to see Renoir. He showed 2 paintings, by the way.
There's more people watching it that don't watch wrestling right now than ever watched it before today.
The world's beautiful art. And I'm very happy to be in my family home. And now I'm going to grab my cup of coffee and head to the office and see you all very soon tonight on Wednesday Night Dynamite on TBS or HBO Max, 8 p.m. Eastern or 7 p.m. Central here in the Midwest in the Central Time Zone. Thank you for visiting with me, and see you tonight on AEW.
Wait, what show? What's the name of the show, Tony?
He missed his off button.
Mother of God.
Tony, never ever stop doing these.
Please keep doing these.
They're so good.
Maybe he just really embraced the concept of making short-term memory to long-term memory. He must really like 50 First Dates. So he's just saying things 51 times so that it's forever seared in your memory.
Oh man, if this was I could watch this Tony Khan all day though.
Oh my God, I would.
This Tony
I would
Khan
watch
on
a 24-hour live stream of this.
If he would put it, if he would be like an announcer in AEW, I would watch every episode.
I got. You know what? I gotta start. I gotta start doing like shorts of this with Tooney.
Yeah. Those would be quick too, because you just need one camera.
Oh my gosh. All right. Here at McDonald's. All right. Regina Sharp for $5 says, "That's good to see Spaceballs, Marv, but it's too late for my poor joke." Sob.
It was a great joke.
It was a good joke. Regina Sharp for $5 says, "This is the original Renoir as opposed to the 15 different copies we had commissioned." Renoir. Speaking of Renoir, a great wrestler, Chris Benoit. I'm shocked that wasn't one of them. Regina Sharp for $5 says, "Tony doesn't want to expose how poor they are with only one Renoir." How humiliating for them. I'm telling you, he's going to end up trapped in that painting someday.
He dresses like the little sailor boy.
He does. Andre Adams for $4.99 says,
"Dynamite.
I think Tony's face is the result of a diabolical experiment to create the Ubermensch of lame." Ubermensch of lame. You and Kiwi for $1.99 says, "Show this to everybody from the Pro Channel." Yeah, even if you don't understand wrestling, weird is weird.
Weird.
Regina Sharp for $5. This used to be Al Capone's house, and later we'll be opening his safe.
Nice.
Amazing. Blazing Bolts for $10 says, "I'm not interested in watching WWE Unreal. I'm more interested in Sesame Street Unreal. I'm curious to know why Marv got fired from Sesame Street and if he got along with Grover and Elma, and they know what they did. It's all politics over there, man."
Wait, did you serve Grover yet, or did he accept it? How did
we're
that
awaiting litigation?
Okay, I was curious.
Regina Sharp for $5 says, "Oh God, I just figured it out. Tony was showing the paintings because WWE has been doing those Monet designs for Clash in Paris."
Oh my gosh, he's right.
Oh my God, he probably is.
Oh
wow. She's probably right, because this was 2 weeks ago, but that was the week that they put the Clash in Paris stuff out there. So yeah.
Andre Adams for $4.99 says, "I feel like people ask Tony Khan all the same questions that Chris Farley was asked in Tommy Boy." Oh, I love our audience so much. All right. Let's see what we Kev, I know you have to run because you've got Lauren and Apollo tonight at 11. I'll be joining you guys. Very excited for that. Why don't you tell the folks what you've got going on with that?
Sure. So tonight, actually, it's going to be a two-parter. So tonight, we're going to be discussing how woke has gone broke. We're going to cover a couple stories up to and including listing 62, I think 68 woke movies that bombed at the box office. And then we will be unveiling our topic for Friday, which will be who was the king of 80s action. If this works out, you guys will be able to participate on the Friday show by casting your vote. So we'll let you know how that goes by the time we get to the end of the show.
Fantastic. All right, Kev, we'll see you over there on Lauren and Apollo at 11 o'clock EST on the WWE Pro channel.
I'll be the same.
Yes. So here's the thing. We still have the Monet mag, but it's not fun without Kevin and Awful.
Yeah, I mean, we can go. I don't mind if you want to make, because I was going to say, well, they're gone. That'd be nice to do it without them so that they don't have to sit through it. But
no, that's the point.
Yeah, if you're thinking the opposite, I'm more, and we already said we can't do AEW. I'm more than fine with calling it. I think we had a great show tonight. I
do too.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know how we could top it. You know what? I will say real quick. So Awful had some personal stuff come up and couldn't be here. I got messaged about halfway through the show, but.
Okay.
This Thursday, me and Awful are going to go live on his channel.
Awesome.
Yeah. So if at 11 p.m. Eastern, we thought we'd get out of the way of Tooneytown TV.
I appreciate that.
No problem. So we're going to be live over there because we had a lot of people just a couple weeks ago when it was me and Awful who they dug our kind of separate, our feel that we had going, and they wanted to hear more, and who are we to say no? So yeah, this week we're gonna give it a shot. If you guys want to check it out, 11 p.m. Eastern over on Awful Wrestling YouTube channel. We're gonna have some fun, so come hang out with us. And I did want to get that in before. But yeah, like I said, I don't think we have anything else we need to really hit.
No, I am putting the link for Late Night with Lauren and Apollo in the chat right now. So you guys can follow that over there to check them out. That'll be starting at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be over there as well to chit chat with my buddies over there and talk about some movies. And in the meantime, I'm going to be writing that Park Place articles. Anything else you want to plug, the Discord or whatever?
Like I said, the Awful channel. You can also TooneyDis.lol is our Discord. And if anyone is listening to the show on podcast, by the way, you can check us out every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time by going to youtube.com/@ToonWrestling and join in with the chat. We have a lot of fun every week on Tuesdays. And if you aren't listening on the podcast right now, maybe give it a shot. I mean, we can not only can we be here on Tuesdays for you, but you'll forget everything we say by Friday. So you can just listen to it on the way to work.
That's true. If you want the audio version, it does come out every single Friday. So, that is a good bet to do. I am actually going to change this up real quick to make it so that we automatically send everyone to Lauren and Apollo.
There you go.
So I'm adding a redirect right now.
And while you're doing that, make sure you follow at AEW Neckbeard on Twitter. Please. He is our guy. He couldn't be here tonight. He's finishing off the move, but he was here. And he just stopped in. Look at that. So he will be, so he will appreciate any follow that he gets. And we really appreciate everything he does.
Yep.
And like I said, This Is Awful. It is officially This Is Awful. I just got word from
Awful. Good. So, good.
We will be doing that on Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, going for a late night show. You know what that means, Marv. We can we can be dirty because YouTube doesn't pay attention at midnight.
When you guys get over there to Lauren and Apollo, make sure you tell them it's a Tooney Town Wrestling raid. Tell them we said hi. I'll be over there in a little bit, so we'll see you there. From all of us here at the Tooney Town channels, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here!
Now, Perry the Platypus, feel the wrath of my thank you-inator!
Thank you, you piece of trash.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you! Oh, I suppose you want me to say thank you. Well, you know what? Saying thank you is like jobbing. Thank you!
I got a little message. Thank you. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
Thanks? For what?
Hi-ho from all of us here at Tooney Town. Thank you!
And viewers like you. Thank you.